Welcome everybody to Waited to Win, and it's good to have Aldo Domeyer who comes to join us here on the show. It's great to have him on board. As this brings upon the Lormaran Queen's Plate Festival. It's a double header with racing at Kenilworth on both Friday and Saturday. So Aldo, welcome to Waited to Win, your first time, but it's great to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Clyde. First time being here, first time using Zoom. I feel like an old man.
Yeah, technology changed the whole world in the last couple of years. Good to have Daryn. I know he's quite excited, Daryn, about tomorrow. You've got on Friday, you've got a runner with the Adam Marcus stable, right?
Yes, correct. I've got a runner along with Team Thundercat and a new shareholder, Piet Bunzaya, who's come on board. Yeah, we are expecting a big run back over the 1200. Hopefully he's over his problems and all goes smoothly. Okay, excellent. And Darryl, you've obviously looked at both Friday and Saturday. I'm quite excited about the Friday card, but looking at it, I know Saturday's got a lot of quality on offer, but I don't know, Friday seems there might be a few good ones on Friday.
Depends on your style of play, Clyde. I think Friday is a little bit more trickier.
Yeah.
Saturday appears to be more punter friendly. Either or, it's fantastic racing on offer, and it's great to have Aldo join us. I mean, he knows the course as good as the back of his hand, and it's great to have his expertise on board.
Yeah, absolutely, no question about that. And we're most grateful for having him on board. All right, well, let me just get into the show then and show you guys what we've got here for you as far as the Waited to Win show is concerned, and we'll just quickly go through all of what's on screen at the moment. And I'd like to start with obviously just a reminder, naturally, sorry about that, keeps popping up, about the Waited to Win disclaimer, and that's for all of our viewers to have a look at. Also, just on the next slide, the 0691643272, that's our WhatsApp number. Don't forget to be part of that to win all of your prizes and to be part of all the action as we continue to grow the group. We want to once again thank all of those from Waited to Win that helped us reach our goal in the week. To all the guys that are currently on the screen, Joe Sommer, Gavin Larina, Pierce Stradham, Calvin Habib, Lyle Hewitson, Warren Kennedy, all helped us grow the show with David Thistleton, Muzi Yeni. Then we had the Betway show. They announced their presence in South Africa. And then the live show with Samanga Kamalo and Betway's ambassador here in South Africa, Mike de Kock. And all those that are on the screen at the moment, thank you very much. All those low, if you're not on there, and we haven't thanked you, apologize for that, but you know who you are, and you've always contributed to make a much better show. And here's Aldo on screen at the moment. And well, the moment of glory, Aldo, would no doubt have been when you won the J&B Met.
No, definitely a fond memory. Something I would love to do again, and hopefully something we're building up to.
Tell me now, in the screenshot there when you were in the South African colors, I mean, did you ride, how many times did you ride for South Africa?
Once in South Africa, and then a couple of times internationally. I think twice as a senior or a qualified jockey, and then I think twice as an apprentice. So quite a few times.
Yeah. And you've been to a few places that you've ridden around the world. Maybe you just want to share that story with us quickly as to where you've been and your experience abroad.
Yeah, I won the South African apprenticeship, and then I represented South Africa. I think it was Mauritius. It was quite a strong group of youngsters at the time. I think it was myself, Paris, Derek, David, Maxime, Guillaume, Lestois, Umberto Rispoli. So it was quite a good bunch of guys that actually went through to go and do a couple of things. That's also quite prominent around the world at the moment. Thereafter, I think as I qualified, I went to Korea, Macau, and then obviously I ended up in Hong Kong then. Singapore as well, of course. Yeah, Singapore was the main one. That's where I won the Victor Ladorum, which probably got me a ticket into Hong Kong.
Well, I know that Daryn and Darryl, you guys have told me how incredibly talented Aldo is, and that I absolutely concur. But do you guys know how fast Aldo is?
Yeah, he's probably
when I had legs.
I tell you what, I want to remind Aldo of this. Daryn and Darryl, watch this. Watch this race. He's in the all blue.
No, he's in a league of his own, Clyde. I just want to ask him, has he ever run 100 meters against Carice Teeton?
Not in the same league, eh? I am unbeaten. Carice is pretty quick though. He is pretty quick. Unfortunately, when I was in Hong Kong, he was on international duty, so I think it was a big build up to it that we were going to take each other on because he was pretty much unbeaten in Hong Kong, and yeah, we were going to race against each other there, and also what they have annually. But then unfortunately, he was away at the time, and it just never materialized. But yeah, it would have been really exciting.
Yeah, those were great days, Aldo. I mean, when you had the jockey sprint and we had those Durbanville festivals going.
Greg Sheen had a 50-meter head start here, so I mean, this is very flattering on his behalf, and I didn't think I was going to catch him because he was the flagman too. He was the starter, yes, and I just managed to get to him at I think the last 10 meters, and I gave him a pat on the head, and yeah, he nearly came down, unfortunately, but he managed to stay up. I saw him hold the flag. In fact, he dropped the flag with about 10 meters to go, to be honest. Yeah, he was trying to trip me. That was his third passage, but yeah, I managed to just get over that little hurdle. Yeah, watch him here. You'll see he's got his flag in the hand, and then he drops the stick, so to speak. He's clear. Yeah, brilliant. Jonathan Snaith has recently challenged me to a 200-meter dash, so that's going to be interesting. I mean, he's got no chance with you, man. What chance has he got? We'll price up on betting 4 to 10 and 20 to 1. You can take 20 to 1. No, they tell me he's an absolute speed machine. Justin tells me he's an absolute bullet. Not in the same race. Not in the same race. Tell him we'll put the money up and we'll put the match race on. We're ready. Whenever John is ready, I'm ready. What a boy. Okay, well, we'll talk, just to get back to this for a moment, and we'll just quickly chat about the Kenilworth card on Friday. Now, just to bring you guys all in here, if I can, those are the scratchings at this point in time that we've got for you on the screen in those races. And we'll just start with Friday, just very briefly, if we can, and just quickly want to touch on, if I may, Aldo's rides, starting with the first day of the festival, and he comes up with the very first race, the number 7 Philosophize, which I'm personally making the best bet on the card. That's my humble view on it, Aldo. Yeah, listen, Candace's juveniles don't generally give a lot away because she's not that hard on them. I don't know a great deal about her. I sat on her once or twice, but she typically gives away about as much as a juvenile does in our yard. And it's not a great deal I can give confidence with, but she did give a good first run. And generally, if the best yards first timers give a good run, they normally come forward with it. So she's not particularly hard on her babies. And I think the filly that beat her first time had good form. So there's absolutely no reason she shouldn't, as tradition suggests, come forward from that and with a run under her belt, give even a better account of herself. Again, I'm not sure what we're taking on. But yeah, she doesn't give a lot away in the sand. But yeah, she hasn't done anything wrong at the same time. So we can quietly go in there with a bit of confidence. She's got a fair draw in the center, and yeah, she's done nothing wrong so far. Yeah, absolutely. I think, listen, barring the first timers, of which there are a few naturally, and there may be a special horse in there we don't know, but we'll obviously get news of that when it come race time. But in the second race, just I want you to bring up, if I may, in this case right here now, where Craig Zaki rides for you here, Daryn, he's riding your horse, Active Thunder. What's the latest there?
Well, he's doing really well at home. He has got his some issues I don't want to really discuss online, but we're hoping that all goes smoothly tomorrow. He's going to be ridden patiently, and we just want to see him running on strongly towards the finish. He's a really big horse. He is looking for the bend, but we just want to see him running on really strongly. And he has got the ability to win a maiden 1200. I mean, he does work like a 4 or 5 time winner at home. He is a 4-year-old. He's only had the 3 starts. So we're expecting a forward run, and we will be disappointed if he's out the first 3.
Okay. All right, well, let's hope it runs a good race for you. I know you're very excited about it. Aldo, in the third, you're riding for Candace again, raising Quinn, and she had a much better start in her last effort. Do you rate her as the one to beat? Yeah, she will win. She should win. Okay, that's excellent. That's fantastic news. So that can be a good bet for us too. So we'll mark that up in the third race, number 8, Raising Quinn. And then the last one we want to just chat to you, or the next two, you've got Daryn that runs in the fourth race.
Yeah, healthy respect for Really Royale. Also a bit of respect for Maree. So it looks like a competitive race actually, but her first run was just to come forward, and she's duly done that, and got a bit of weight to shoulder. So obviously she's got a bit of work to do, but she is the class act in the race, and yeah, I'm expecting her to give a bold showing.
Yeah, she's the best weighted horse in the race, so it's good to know that you like it too. And then of course we need to talk about, and I'll bring the guys in as well to talk about the feature race, if I can, the running of the 7th. And here you've got a Mamsen Toti. But Candice has got a couple for which I know she rates the stable companion quite highly as well. So let's just get your view on the Scepter Stakes this year, Aldo.
Listen, competitive, open. Those fillies of bred can clearly sprint a bit, as you've seen. They'll be the horses to beat. But these fillies races are open. Some of these nice young horses are getting some nice weight, and this is a prep run for my filly. So this is just for it to come forward. After last run, there's a couple of things that we sat down and discussed, and we felt we needed to change. And I think we're getting around to that now. So this is just a race for her to come forward. She's got a lot of class. One or two things that we need to still get around, but I think one or two of the stable companions perhaps a bit more fancied.
Yeah.
Of us on this specific day over the track and trip and.
Very.
Yeah.
So what would she be aiming at now, Mamsen? What would Candice aim on Met Day, of a particular race on Met Day?
Yeah. Yeah, the Group 1 Met Day.
Okay.
She'll probably have 55. I'm going to be trying to get down to 55 to ride her there, because I know that wasn't a run last time. I know what she's capable of, and she's shown us before. And if we're correct in our suspicions, then yeah, she's going to be a massive runner there that day. Okay. And probably worthwhile for me to go down to 55 for.
Sure, I can imagine. Not easy, tough. It's not easy. I know how hard it must be for you.
Yeah, Clyde, our age, it's difficult to get it done.
We always talking about the Mallorca on Met Day, I think it is, on that occasion over the mile. So she will remember her. Daryn, just to bring you in quickly and ask you about the Scepters, to how you rated the race.
Well, I found it a very open field. My first choice is a Mamsen Toti. I just put a line through her last start. She's coming back over 1,200 meters, obviously a distance short of her best. But if a couple of lengths off them going through the 400 and the gaps open, I see her staying on really strongly in a field like this. So I think her class may carry her through, even though maybe not 100%. Dangers, I thought Kitty Cat Chat, very good last win, a second run after a long layoff. She's going to come on from that run. And Capitana, consistent, always thereabouts. And another one to consider, I thought Sound of Warning. She does bring Joburg form into the race. So it'll be interesting to see how strong that form is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously, in terms of the race, we're very grateful to Brett Crawford, Clyde Basel, and to Justin Snaith. I mean, they obviously got the majority of the runners in the race. Darryl, how did you see it?
My value bet for the Friday comes up in the Cartier Scepter Stakes. It's number 15, Gimme That. I know she's out at the weights, but she is a 3-year-old, and she's very likely raced. And in my opinion, she could be potentially well ahead of the handicapper. So I won't read too much into the ratings of here. I know the last time I'd seen the Southern Cross Stakes, Clyde, was over 1,000 meters. And that distance is too short for her, and she met interference. I thought she did extremely well to gather herself up and finish the race. There's no doubt the extra furlong is going to be in her favor. And I think with the smooth passage, she can put that run behind her. And I saw her priced up at around about 12 to 1. I thought that represents each way value in the race.
Okay. I see Grant van Niekerk's riding her. Aldo, when does Grant leave for Hong Kong? We've heard that he's going to be going to Hong Kong soon.
There's been a bit of flight complications. And obviously with the whole COVID thing, it's just complicated things. So that's like delayed indefinitely at the moment. It probably came at a bad time. Okay. So there's no certain time when that'll materialize again. So obviously you just got to wait patiently and see how things pan out moving forward. So it looks like it will be here for the Met.
Yeah, and there's obviously with the announcement, I'm assuming that he's lost out on a couple of good rides along the way, assuming that he won't be here for the Met.
Probably has 2 great rides and 2 Group 1s coming up. think he managed to get one back, but unfortunately, the main one linebacker just unfortunately slipped through the filter. Yeah.
Just before we move on to Saturday, Daryn, what is your best bet on the Friday card?
My best bet comes in race 6, I think it is, the Jamaica handicap, Black Silver. The Jamaica handicap, number 10, Black Silver.
Okay.
She's finding her best form, and I think she's better than her rating suggests. She's racing off for 80 with 54 kilos and a 1 draw. I think she'll take a lot of beating.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll take some of the doubles then after what Aldo told us about his ride in the third, Raising Quinn. Maybe that's our double of the day. Well, let's quickly just have a look. You're reminded that we've got a Queen's Plate carry over to Saturday. So there it is there of R5 mil. So 5 million rand is what you're looking at in terms of the pick 6 come Saturday's meet. And we'll start with the 4th race on the card, where Real Gone Kid is the odds-on favorite, is currently trading at 9-20. And then after that, you've got 5-1 and better the others. So, right, let's get straight to Daryn. I'll come to you first and talk about the opening leg of the pick 6, where we're hoping with a 5 million rand pool, we can start off confidently and put this to bed.
Yes, for sure. You know, it does look a one-horse race. 1,000 meters, Real Gone Kid, you know, he's been so impressive since his lengthy layoff of 8 months. He came back, he won over 1,000 meters by 3.5 lengths. And last time, he was very speedy, and he managed to hold off the challenge of probably the best sprinter in the country, Ria Kwarari. So in that sort of form, he comes into a pinnacle with 58 kilos, and the blinkers off once again, same as last time out. And if he repeats any of his last 2 efforts, they won't beat him. Horses like Casimir, he's best over 1,200. He's also going to be a little bit caught for speed. I think Real Gone Kid will go start to finish here.
Okay, hard to beat. Darryl, your view?
First leg of the pick 6, you can go in with a confident banker. You know, he met his biggest danger last time out. He beat him comfortably by 3 lengths. Once again, they meet on same weight terms. It's hard to see Casimir reverse that form. I mean, Casimir isn't quite reproducing his high level of form now, but it's understandable because he's nearing the end of his career. He's 7 years old, whereas Real Gone Kid at this stage of their careers has got more to offer. So it's very, very difficult to see Casimir reverse that form. Although Casimir is best weighted, it will be a shock on paper if he does. Just one I want to touch on for a trifecta is number 3, Speed Machine. Now, based on his last 2 runs, it's impossible to fancy his chances of winning a race like this. But you know, the son of Legislate, we've seen in the past that he's got a very impressive turn of foot. And if the favorite does happen to fluff his lines on the day, he could be there to pick up the pieces. But the favorite, you have to be confident on paper and his ability that you can go in with a pick 6 banker.
Okay. And Aldo, would you ratify what the guys have just said?
I think that was perfect. I think Kid really hard to beat, and the only one I can really see is Speed Machine.
Speed Machine, okay, perfect. Race number 5, the Goodwood Premier Trophy. We go on to that. And here we've got Do It Again is top of the boards at even money. 9 Hoodspray is at 7-1. 1 Russian Rocks 15-2. 3 Fire Alleys at 9-1. And let me bring you in here, Aldo, because you've got the ride on Fire Alley. And just take us through what sort of ability you think he has and what chance he might have in this lineup.
Always had ability. Always had ability. I think 1,800 is maybe 1 furlong above his best. I know he won that race really comfortably last time out, but he did have 52. I think Do It Again will be really hard to beat here. I think he's probably close to as a banker as you can find again. But if things don't go his way, it's pretty open. I think then Hoodspread, Russian Rock, and Maoist then obviously comes into play.
Yeah. Okay, Darryl, what's your take on it? Do It Again hard to beat?
Clyde on ratings, he stands out head and shoulders above anything else. I thought that was a very encouraging comeback last time out. It confirmed his zest for racing is still there, and his well-being is spot on. On paper, it's a formality. I like that there's pace in the race. You've got a few that like to roll forward over here. So the pace is going to be genuine. Yeah, it should be a 1-horse race. I think even money is quite generous. I just want to ask Aldo his feelings on Sovereign Spirit. because it is from his yard. And although he's held on paper by Do It Again, you know, he's never really disgraced himself against the best. He's contested the Queen's Plate, the July, the Champions Cup, the Gold Challenge, and he's never far off. So I thought he could be the exact same inclusion of the year. I don't know if Aldo had the choice of rides or what was his thinking beyond that.
Yeah, listen, I think Fire Alice just come to a point where he's a bit more reliable. Sovereign Spirit's packed with ability. It's just, you're not sure you're going to get on the day. There's times when he's very capable and he's running with the best of them. As you can see, he does often. I just think I went for Fire Ali because he's a younger horse and perhaps a bit more reliable at this stage. If Sovereign beats Fire Ali, I wouldn't be surprised because he's capable of doing so on the day. I just think Fire Ali's always shown us that he can run, and he's finally coming forward with what we thought he would be able to do initially, you know. So I just went with at this stage the younger, more consistent horse, and he's in form, he's confident, he looks like he's doing in a good place. Yeah, Sovereign very capable though. I can't really see us being do it again at this stage. I saw him the other day and he looks really well. So yeah, I think we're running for second. If not, if we roll him, well, that'll be great.
Okay, that's excellent. So yeah, that they're both very well. Thanks for that, Aldo. And Daryn, I just want to get your view. Do you also make Do It Again hard as another banker on the card, hard to beat?
Yes, definitely. What's going to suit him even more is the pace in the race. And if they go a decent pace, he's going to be slicing through them at the 400 and should win going away. So I thought even money was a generous price. And I can't look past him. On ratings, on the weights, everything points to Do It Again as winning this race quite comfortably. So a bank in all bets, first two legs of the pick six I'm bankering.
And are you of the opinion that they will go a good pace in that race?
Yes, I do believe they'll go a genuine pace, and that'll suit Do It Again down to the ground.
Okay, so he needs a good speed on the day. Okay, race 6, stay with me, Daryn. Yeah, I was going to ask you about this Captain's Ransom. She's 11-10. She takes on the Cartier Paddock Stakes over the 1800 meters. It's naturally a grade 1. It's one of the best races in South Africa, and she's really awesome. This filly, this Captain L filly. She's at 11-10 with the Princess Keller 9-2, and she's a keeper 6-1. I suppose two parts to it. If she race over, then that's fine. That's great. Then we're on our way, maybe the field, the last 3 legs of the pick 6, if that's the case. Or are there dangers here? Can she get run over?
Well, I believe she's a true miler. I have doubts about her staying the 1800 meter trip. And that's the reason why I'm covering her and going pretty wide in the pick 6. The way she wins her miles, yes, she's got that acceleration over a mile, and she puts the race to bed the final 100. But over the 18, is she going to have that turn of foot, or is she going to be one paced? And that's my question mark. And she can tend to slightly over race over a little bit shorter. So I'm not in the camp of Captain's Ransom. I'm playing to beat her. She's a keeper, ran 2 lengths off Captain's Ransom over a distance short of her best last time. She was staying on really nicely over 1500. She's had the 2 runs in Cape Town. She should be spot on for this race, and I make her a big runner. Princess Keller, now she gets 1800, but not beyond 18. We've seen her over 2000 meters before. She's competitive, but she just empties out the final 100 or 2. Over in the Paddock Stakes, over 18 last year, she came from a long way back and ran a good 3rd. So she'll be very competitive. Now, Marina, I believe, is a filly that's looking for 2,000, 2,400 meters. That's her best. But if there's a decent speed on, she's going to be doing good late work. And I wouldn't exclude Marina out of any bets. Another horse to consider is the 3-year-old Chansonette. She won the fillies guineas in good style. 2 times she went the mile trip. She won both times. Good win against Desert Miracle. She fought all the way to the line. I don't see the 1800 being a problem. And with only 54 kilos and a 1 draw, I make her very competitive. So I'm playing to beat Captain's Ransom. If she sees out the trip and she wins, then fine, maybe take another perm banker. But yeah, that's my views on the Paddock Stakes.
All right, well, let's ask Aldo. Aldo with Marine, do you think you can beat Captain's Ransom, Aldo?
Well, like you just mentioned, I think 1800's a bit more up our alley than potentially it being up hers. So I think over 1800, Uno's a lively chance. Yeah, I think this is probably my filly shortest trip, where she's actually quite effective. So yeah, I'm going in with a little bit of confidence. Yeah, just with a quiet confidence, but she's done nothing wrong this filly, and she's coming forward. And I agree that 10 furlong up, she's going to be extremely effective over, but she's got a lot of class. And yeah, this is an open race. Any one of these fillies could win it, and you wouldn't be surprised, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, my filly's really well. She's now in a place where I'm really happy with her. And yeah, let's just hope that there is a thorough pace. There should be. Yeah, it looks like there's nice bit of value. Yeah, I think there's always been some slight reservations regarding Captain's Ransom over the 1800, and we'll probably have to find out on Saturday then.
Okay, well, that's interesting that you also believe that she can get rolled in the 1800s, a question mark. Darryl, so what do you make of it now? Because is this two-play, or are you going head on Captain's Ransom?
Like, firstly, I just want to have a chat with Aldo over here. If I could, I'd reach out and shake his hand for his ride on Marina last time out. He picked her off the canvas, and possibly one of the best rides of the year. As punters, we have to thank him for that, because she was dead and buried 50 from home. You know, Captain's Ransom, over 7 furlongs and a mile, she's SA's champion filly. I mean, she's done it all. She's proven it. And I'm behind champions. I want to see her come out and win the Cartier Paddock Stakes. In my mind, if she won going away over the mile last time out, she got to Princess Color. Going through the 400, you only wanted to be on one horse. Princess Color was cantering.
Yeah.
And it was disappointing in my mind that she didn't manage to hold off Captain's Ransom, because really she was doing it hard. She was going oh so easy under Anton last time out. And Captains came past her. I had a look at the dam sire, Clyde, Red Ransom. Now, he's had a higher percentage of winners with his progeny over distances between 7 furlongs and 9 furlongs than what he has over distances between 5 furlongs and 6 furlongs. So there are a few that are able to get 1800 and 2000. Yeah. And, you know, I think she is capable of switching off and turning it on. She's met Princess Color 4 times in the past. It's 3-1 to Captain's Ransom, but the reason why Princess Color beat her was in the Garden Province, and Captain's Ransom ran below par on that occasion. So in my mind, it's 3-0 to Captain's Ransom. I'm going into this race. I'm bankering on all bets, but at the same time, Clyde, I don't think there's much value at 11-10. If you are wanting to have a bet on the nose, wait for her. I think there's many bookmakers out there that are going to take her on, and her price is going to drift. So for me, I'm banking her in the pick 6. Just wait. If you're wanting to have a bet, wait for race time. You'll get better odds.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then I just want to touch on the 3-year-old, Clyde. The 3-year-old, the Cape Fillies Guineas winner, Chanzane, very impressive. She somewhat upset the favorite in Desert Miracle. But once again this year, as with last year, the older fillies and mares came to the fore with Queen Supreme and Clouds Unfold. I think I'm leaning towards the older fillies this time, with the likes of Captain's Ransom and Princess Color.
Okay. Yeah, great ride last time, Aldo, with Marina, another ride like that. Who did you beat on that? Was it Richard Ferree on the second horse, the short end, when you got to the line?
Yeah, it was Richard on Snape's filly. Went by like 3/4 of a length, and we just managed to get a little bit more out of Marina on that day. And yeah, it ended up being a nice result because we were clear of the field, and yeah, it was a nice race. And like I said, I don't think my filly was at her best that day. I think she's more in a place where I wanted to be now moving forward. And yeah, like I say, very happy with that.
Excellent. Let's go to the Lomrons Queen's Plate now. And they bet 33-10 joint favourites, 1 Rainbow Bridge and 4 Linebacker. They're top of the boards with Comedy Ding at 9-2, number 3 on the card. Anton Marcus is on the 6 Warrior. He's at 11-2. And then 7-1 about the 2 Jet Dark. And then 12s and better the other. So let me start, if I can, with you, Aldo, just to get an assessment. I mean, it is naturally a quality field, as it always is every year, the Lormeron's Queen's Plate. If you had to make a choice as to what you would want to ride, which horse would that be?
Oh, tricky question. I mean, if any one of these horses won, you wouldn't be surprised. You could literally look at them all. It's difficult for me to look past Rainbow Bridge and Linebacker at this stage, just because of where they most recently ran. Rainbow Bridge, if you ask Robert Carty, he doesn't want to hear it. He says 2 kilos better off. He says he's a never say die sort of horse, and he's been involved in his prep and he's extremely confident. And then when you ask Grant, he thinks Linebacker on his last run won't get beat. He's got a suitable replacement, very capable replacement in Craig Zaki. But it would have been interesting if Grant was on him, because he obviously knows the horse really well and he goes well for him. So watching their last run, I thought Linebacker was very impressive, because he kind of did it the hard way, and he only went down to about a neck to Rainbow Bridge after doing all the hard work with was it Seeking the Stars, setting the pace. So essentially Linebacker was his comeback run was doing the donkey work, and Rainbow was just tracking him for most of the way. At the same time, I think Rainbow probably needed that as well. I can't see Seeking the Stars beating those two again. Wherever Seeking the Stars is, they should be in front of him. Committee Deng, slightly concerning comeback run. I don't know if that was fluent enough to suggest that he can just bounce back and turn it around with those other horses. And it's been quite a while since he's run. Obviously for Ashwin, I love whenever this horse wins. He's the people's horse. Also nice Vancouver and Michelle, but just purely going on what I've seen so far, I think between Rainbow Bridge and Linebacker, they should be fighting it out.
Interesting. Darren, I'll come to you now quickly. Just, do you agree with that assessment? Does it come down to those two, Rainbow Bridge and Linebacker again?
Yes, well, they're going to finish close together, you know. Rainbow Bridge, Linebacker, Comedy Dung, they'll finish very close together. I think Rainbow Bridge is a better horse over 10 furlongs, where Linebacker is very, very decent over the mile trip. He was unlucky not to win the Guineas. Then he went on to win the Guineas up in Durban, and then followed that up with the Daily News. His comeback run was very encouraging. And I make Linebacker a horse to beat, but my first choice is actually a horse called Jet Dark. Now, I did tip him last year to win the Queen's Plate as a 3-year-old, but funny enough, this horse's first run back after a break is always a flat run. He overdoes it, he over races, he's a bit too fresh, and he just seems to run a flat race. And his second run back, he always improves 5 lengths. And I can see that happening in a race like this, with the pace being on, with Seeking the Stars after the rain. They like to go up front, and Jet Dark can sit off them and settle into a nice stride. And he's a proper miler, this. I think there is value with Jet Dark. I think we'll see big improvement. So for me, Jet Dark to beat Linebacker, Comedy Dung, I think he'll show big improvement from his last run, and Rainbow Bridge for 4th.
Okay, let's bring Darryl quickly just to give his summary of the Queen's Plate this year.
I'm in Darren's camp of year. I think the value in the race definitely lies with Jet Dark. Many were disappointed with his comeback run. I watched that run of the Green Points. I thought it was a very, very decent effort. He was a long way behind Turning for Her. I think at the finish, he was actually closing in on the two main protagonists of year, Rainbow Bridge and Linebacker. So with that run under his belt, I'm expecting immense improvements, and I think he's going to be right there. He could possibly go back to back in the Lormeron's Queen's Plate. Rainbow Bridge, you know, as honest as they come, always runs his heart out. Great return after a race last time out. You can't ignore him over here. And then Linebacker, like I agree with Darren. I think over a mile he's very, very effective. He won he went down in the Cape Guineas. He won the WSP Guineas in KZN. He turned it on in a tikkie on that occasion. Electrifying turn of foot. He looks like a very easy horse to ride. He's easy to place, and he's got a great turn of foot, a lot in his favor. Comedy Dung, Aldo said that the people's horse, well, great to see him win. I just don't think he's he's in this class of a horse over a mile. If it was 1800 or 2000, he'd possibly be the leading light over here. But over a mile, I've got my doubts. Although he has proven effective against weaker, he has won over a mile in the past. I think just this class might catch him out over a mile. Let's see how he goes in the Queen's Plate. I mean, in the JMB Met, well, in the Met.
Yeah,
and then Warrior last night, obviously benefited from the gelding. It was a cracking run. I just don't see him winning the Lomrans Queen's Plate, another one that falls into that category. So I'm going to tip Jet Dark to beat Linebacker, Rainbow Bridge back in third.
Okay, interesting, you're both on Jet Dark. He's priced up 9-1 to win the World Sports Betting Met this year. Linebacker is the favourite at the moment to win the Met at 7-2. Rainbow Bridge is 5-1, and Commentator is currently at 6-1, and then Do It Again 7s. Jet Dark 9s. And then Double Superlative also 9-1. Okay, that's the Queen's Plate. Let's go to the 8th race. Stay with you, Darryl, for a moment. Talk about the final leg of the jackpot here quickly. And it does appear to be quite a bit of a nightmare of a race. I mean, I would imagine if you're going in running in the Pick 6, you want just about the field here.
I've opted to go the field, Clyde, because I've got 3 potential bankers in the first 3 legs. So I am looking for an upset in this race. If I had to narrow it down, number 8, Royal Watch, was my strong fancy last night, and he was overdoing it in the early parts of the race. He now drops down to 4. Excuse me, Clyde.
No
he now drops down to 1400, which I think is going to be in his favor because they'll go a little bit quicker and he'll be able to settle. And coupled with the fact that Justin Snaith really likes to get his horses prepped for these big days. So he's going to be spot on coming into this race. And I see that they've opted to put a pair of blinkers on him this time round because it is possibly on the minimum range of his the minimum trip of his range. So Royal Watch, my first pick. Number 2, Look for Hounds. Now, I do believe he shows enough early speed to overcome that draw. I think after 50 or 100 meters, Anton might possibly have him in front or just one off the paint, one off the fence. And since he's returned from KZN, he's in cracking form. You can't fault him. He's going to give another honest showing. And then the favorite, Charla, very impressive 2 latest wins. He has been up from 85 to 94, so that's not going to make it easy for him over here. And both those wins have been up the straight. So if he's as effective up the straight as what he is around over the 1400, you have to give him a winning chance over here. But if you like his chances, you have to like the chances of number 7, All About Al. He needs him on 3 kilograms better weight terms. And he has 1 over 7 furlongs. So a tricky race. I'm looking for the upset. But my first pick has to be number 8, Royal Watch.
Okay, so Royal Watch for you in the 8th race. Let's bring Daryn in quickly. According to Darryl, we've got the 8th Royal Watch to beat you. Daryn, what's your take? Also open field race or what?
Yes, it's open, but I've only got a handful of runners here. Okay. I like this horse, Charla. I was really impressed with his last 2 victories. He won with his head on his chest, effortless. And I know he's gone up 6 points in the ratings, and All About Al's better off at the weights with him. But it's just the manner in which he won. I think he can follow up over 1400 meters. My second choice will be All About Al. He also moves up to 1400. They take the cheek pieces off because he can overdo it sometimes. So he'll settle into a nice stride and he should be thereabouts. Then horses like Look for Hounds won a really good race last time out. I thought his rating was a little bit high, but he did win a good race. He's gone up 3 points. And then Royal Watch, you got to include him, but I do believe he's better over a little bit further, as his pedigree suggests. Gallic Tribe will be the pace setter probably at the bottom of the weights with a good draw. So if he has it easy in front, he can stay on in the money.
Okay, we've got the 8th race wrap up. Let's go to the 9th. We'll bring Aldo in now and ask him about Dragonfly, who he rides for Candace Basia. And let me bring you straight in, Aldo. You've been in his company for certainly the last few starts, of which you've won 2 of his last 4 races. And looking at the field, I know the guys would back us up here. It appears Dragonfly might be the horse is the horse to beat in the race?
Yeah, he's had a nightmare of a week. It's just I won't be able to give you a lot of confidence of where we are with him at the moment. It's very smart horse, big baby, still busy growing, tons of ability. Just this week hasn't been awesome for him, so I'll just go in with a bit of caution there. If he feels good on the day, well, you can see what he's capable of. It took a while for the penny to drop. Once it did, he's come forward quite nicely. I hate when a 3-year-old carries top weight, but I suppose he's earned it. However, like I say, he's had a nightmare of a week, and I'm just hoping Candace does what she does best and gets him feeling good like she generally does. And yeah, he gives a good account of himself. If he does, he'll be right there. Double Charge also, no draw, but he's come forward now and he's put his hand up, and he's become a bit more consistent. He's an older horse and carrying the same weight, so you got to respect him. Vici capable on his day as well. Got a good draw, older horse, a lot of value there.
Okay, interesting. And listen, I mean, Candace, I'm sorry to hear that Dragonfly hasn't had the best of weeks, but the stable's been in great form. She's come to very, very good form at the moment, Candace.
Yeah, I think she's enjoying one of the best strike rates she's had. It's probably so things have gone really well. We've got a nice team behind us, nice group of horses. And yeah, I think the stock that she's bought now is probably even better. So lots to look forward to. Things are going quite nicely. Let's hope it continues. She's been enjoying some great success, and obviously the whole team behind her, Dad being quite enthusiastic again and having quite a bit of input. All those little been contributing. It's been helping, So yeah, stable's doing well. So if these horses win, you're never surprised.
Excellent.
I think she'll manage to get him in some sort of condition where he'll be competitive. I'm just saying that we should have go in with a bit of caution.
Thanks for the heads up. Let's bring Daryn in quickly. I know you like Dragonfly quite a bit, but what would you be your take now after hearing what Aldo has to say?
Well, just going on his last victory, I labelled him that day, and he arrived in really good style. He really turned it on strongly. And I mean, over the 2 times he's been around the bend over the 14 and the 1500, he's won really convincingly. And up the straight before that, he used to only get into the race very late. He's got a big stride on him. I make him a hard horse to beat. He'll be my value bet on the card. I know he hasn't had the best of weeks. Hopefully, I'm not going to look too much into that, and I'm still going to go in pretty confident with Dragonfly in the 9th. I think even though he's been penalised 5 points, I think he's a little bit better than that. So if he can get into a nice position, I know he's drawn 8 out of 16. If he can get into a nice position, midfield, maybe one off the fence, I think he'll turn it on really strongly, as he has in the past. Horses dangers, I would look towards horses like All Lit Up. His rating started to drop again. He comes into the race running in. His last 2 starts have been in 96 handicaps. He drops into an 80 handicap. He should be competitive. Number 7 on the card, You Know Who. Rachel Veneker takes off 2.5 kilos. He's an up-and-coming 3-year-old I wouldn't ignore. Others to consider, Veni Vedi Vici. He's going to have the run of the race from a 2 draw. He'll be thereabouts. There's a couple more with chances, but I am leaning towards Dragonfly. I have covered him in the pick 6 with quite a few runners.
All right. So again, there might be 2 plays here, long list and short list. Darryl, your take on the last?
Sounds like a Dragonfly and myself have coupled on the tote. We haven't had the best of weeks, but we're going to go into Saturday firing, Clyde. So
You're sounding much better this week, I must tell you.
Well done. We're chomping at the bit for this weekend's racing. The son of Water Winter, when Aldo switched him last time out, he might have caught Aldo by surprise because he's a big son of Water Winter, but he quickened up so smartly, and that was such an eye-catching performance. You have to believe he's ahead of the handicapper. So healthy respect for Dragonfly. I backed him up with Veni Vidi Vici. I think reverting him back down to 7 furlongs could be the winning formula when it comes to him. Anton Marcus from a good draw, he's going to go forward. And then another one you have to have healthy respect for is Hunt Solo. He's possibly going to get the run of the race. I know he's only half a kilogram better off for the Veni Vidi Vici because he did pick up a 2-pound penalty when running second last time out. And please take note that he ran second to a very, very nice sort from the Dean Cannemeyer yard in Let It Burn. I think he could have a bright future ahead of him. So Hunt Solo, Dragonfly, Veni Vidi Vici, I think those are the 3 I'd concentrate on in the last leg of the pick 6.
Okay, before we look at the pick 6, because we don't look at races 1, 2, and 3, I want to bring Aldo in here quickly just to ask him about the 2 rides. He's got Canford Lights and Tchaikovsky. Aldo, just some insight on those 2 for the public.
I think Canford Lights, nice sort. A little bit soft, not sure what to expect from him. And then I think in that 7 furlong, I think it looked a little bit competitive with Tchaikovsky's in. He doesn't give a lot away in the sand. It's like really lazy, but he is a considerably lot better on the grass. So I think he'll run really well. He'll be there. If he wins, I won't be surprised. I did see there was something in there I thought might be hard to beat. Yeah. I think it was one of Snake's runners.
Yes. Okay, well, it's good to know that he's well, and that I think we can follow him. I also like him a lot. Yes, Daryn's play of the day, just to have a quick look. Daryn, you just want to check that out and take us through your what you recommend for the weekend.
Yes, so my pick 6 for Kenilworth on Saturday, I've opted to go the 2 bankers, the 2 hot favourites, Real Gone Kid and Do It Again, and I've chosen to load the rest of the legs. I've actually gone the field in the Queen's Plate. I haven't taken any chances because the 3-year-olds, we don't know how good they are, and they could be competitive. My best bet on Friday is Black Silver in race 6. I'm confident she'll win. She comes into a handicap with 54 kilos, and the way she turned it on last time out, I think she's a massive runner. Then my double, I'm going Black Silver and a Mamsum Toti. Even though Mamsum Toti is looking for the 14, 16, I think her class might carry her through in a 1200 like this. Saturday, my best bet, Do It Again. A very confident selection, best weighted. Everything points to him as being the banker of the day. And my value bet comes in race 9, Aldo's Ride, Dragonfly at 9-2. My multiple play for the day is Real Gone Kid to win, Do It Again to win, Charla to place, and Dragonfly. I think there's 4 places in that race. Comes to 9-1.
Yeah, 9-1. There's lots on the screen to absorb, and hopefully we can get it right. Darryl, there's your slide.
Yeah, we've already touched on my value bet for Friday. Give me that. And then Saturday, the pick 6 carryover, expected pool of 5 million rand. My pool, my perm is very, very affordable, 216 rand for a full unit. And my all to come, I just want to ask Aldo what he thought of Pomodoro's Jets last run, because he did ride the winner on that occasion in Sugar Mountain. And Pomodoro Jet wasn't laying down. He gave him a run for his money. And they pulled, I think, just on 7 lanes clear of the 3rd place runner. So I think he's a safe place bet. I think Real Gone Kid will win. Do It Again will win. And Captain's Ransom, I'm behind the SA's champion filly out. I'm hoping she can bring on the bacon too. That all to come works out at 9-1.
Okay, Aldo, you can answer that question then if you can.
Well, I'm hoping there's no bacon for Captain's Ransom to start off with. Commodore Jet, is that the horse I beat? Louis Mtkotwa.
Yes,
Louis Mtkotwa. He rode that one.
That's the one.
Yeah, that looked like quite a smart sort. He looked very soft on that day. He didn't lay down. Looked like he was going to run right past me again. And he got off that day and said that's probably they wouldn't beat that again. So that's why I said that 14's competitive. I wasn't quite sure that the horse was in there, but I sometimes prefer when a horse is doing well not to go look for opposition. But I do remember him. He looked like he still needed one run, and he was really soft. So he must have come forward with that, and he might be one of the horses to beat. Well, he's definitely one of the horses to beat. Might be a tough nut to crack is more suitable words to go with.
Okay, well, let's see how you're right at that race. So here's the professional double on the day from the guys, where they each one giving their best bet. Race 4, number 2, Real Gone Kid at 9-20, and race 5, number 4, Do It Again, even money. And for the professional punters, you'll get 3-1 the double. My fancy, I like Philosophizers to win the Friday morning. I think Aldo's going to win the opener. in my humble opinion, although he did say he likes the one in the third, so look out for that. And then in the Kenilworth on Saturday, I'm going also real gone kid, the double 9-20. That's approximately 5-1 Friday into Saturday. Don't forget, we're coming to Durban, guys. We'll see you in Durban soon. Make sure that you join the WhatsApp group, because we want you, when we do our live show from Durban, we would love to have you there. And we're going to be limited to the number of people that can watch the show in the audience. So please join that number 0691643272. I hope 2022 is going to be a great one for you. I want to thank you very much. And don't forget to join us every Friday, normally every Friday night, as it is the case on this Thursday evening. Well, there's a double header. Aldo, I can tell you who's going to be the best dressed this weekend. I can put my money and it's race over. I'll tell you who'll be best dressed. Candice Bass is a 5 to 10 shot.
Generally is, eh?
I think the Candice in the fashion, I think she's a certainty in the blue and white on the weekend. Don't forget your blue jacket, Aldo, when you go to the course.
No, 100%. Listen, Neil, sorry, Clyde, thanks so much for having me. This was really good. This was my first time.
Pleasure to have you.
Yeah, I'll try wear pants next time.
Daryn, thanks, Daryn. All the best with your horse on Friday, eh?
Yeah, thank you very much, Clyde. And thanks, Aldo, for joining the show tonight.
It's a pleasure, bud. Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Darryl.
it.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Those guys.
Yeah.